Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bay Area Focus. I'm your host, Michelle Griego. We have an exciting show for you today with an author and two guests explaining how to achieve healthy lifestyles and how to keep those New Year's resolutions. But up first, we have a returning guest here to talk about the recent presidential inauguration. She is a political scientist, a White House expert, and an author. Please welcome Dr. Lauren A. Wright. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, so you were just in Washington, D.C. at the inauguration.
Yep.
What was it like?
It was pretty chaotic. I mean, exciting some parts, a little concerning others. I walked past that Starbucks where the windows were blown out, which was awful,
Sure.
but then millions of people all together for different events.
Sure. What was your takeaway just in there, in the crowd, talking to people?
Well, I watched the inauguration from the roof of the C-SPAN building, so I was behind where all the events were taking place, but I saw a lot of people line up on the reverse side, and it was kind of neat to see a bird's eye view.
Yeah, sure. So you had a bird's eye view, and
Yep.
of course that's been in the news a lot lately, that bird's eye view of the attendance of the inauguration. That's something that we've been talking about for a while. You know, the attendance there was considerably lower than the past inaugurations. That, of course, is something the president refutes. What's your takeaway?
I'm just so surprised that this antagonism with the media has continued into the first days of the administration. You know, most presidents, when they come in, have a honeymoon period. Even George W. Bush, when he came in, had 58% approval. President Obama, of course, 68% approval, and President Trump's at 45%. So, you know, instead of continuing these issues that have been happening and the back and forth, it seems that it's a continuation of the campaign. And, you know, I don't know what to expect except more of what we've been seeing.
So what do you say, I mean, to reporters? Obviously, journalists are listening to his words very carefully. And if he says something that is not true, that's something that they have to look into and question. But then it comes back that they're being biased. And how do you just get on to what really matters? No one really cares about the crowd size. That's not a really important issue. It's just the fact that it wasn't true.
Mm-hmm. I think what you have to do is really control your public image, the narrative surrounding you. If you want to get your agenda passed in Congress, public opinion is a very important factor. And so, you know, limiting controversy to whatever extent possible is what most new administrations do. But this has sort of been something very different.
What do you make of the inauguration speech?
Well, I thought it was more negative. You know, speech experts who have done content analyses of previous speeches said the words were more negative on average, a little bit more pointed, but it was in tune with his style. I mean, that's President Trump's style, is, you know, this sort of, he tells it like he sees it. So, you know, I think people were expecting more of an optimistic, hopeful tone, but that's not what he has delivered in the past, and that's not what he delivered in his inauguration speech.
Sure. Do you think it sounded like a campaign speech instead of what maybe a typical inauguration speech would sound like?
Yes, and his speeches continue to sound like campaign speeches.
So what do you make of his first week? Oh, obviously, I mean, we were looking at video of the inauguration here, and he's done a lot since the inauguration. What do you make of his first week in office so far?
Well, he has been signing a lot of executive orders, and I think what's important for people to understand is those are often a signaling tool of what's to come. So the actual process of implementing legislation is so long. You know, if you think about Obamacare, some parts of that law have not even been put in place yet. That goes through 2022. That was President Obama's plan. So we need to consider the bureaucracy we have. It's very slow. It's very big and complex. And so the actual legislation and the policy making and the implementation takes a lot longer. But those executive orders are a very strong signal of what he hopes will come.
Oh, let's turn to the First Lady
Yes.
now. First, let's talk about, you know, we just saw video of her at the inauguration. Why is everyone so obsessed with her fashion? Obviously, she's a beautiful woman, and she has a wonderful outfit. But even here, we were talking about her outfit. Is that what we should be talking about when we talk about a First Lady?
Well, you know, I think that is a sort of powerful thing. She had wall-to-wall media coverage of her outfit, of her walking, of all this B-roll of her standing next to her husband without saying a word. And so, you know, half of the battle in political persuasion is getting people to pay attention to you. And the extent to which people are fascinated with Melania Trump, I think, think means that she has all of those assets that come with the fame and the popularity of other first ladies. I don't know if she'll use those. I don't know if she'll really mobilize all these tools she has, but she does have the same tools.
So let's talk about another first lady,
Yep.
Michelle Obama. She's been in the news a lot lately because when the president and the first lady went to the White House to go meet with Mr. Obama and Michelle Obama, Melania gave a gift. And that it didn't look like Michelle Obama was too enthused by it. There are pictures. They didn't know what to do with the gift. At one point, Barack Obama got the gift and gave it to somebody else so that they can take these pictures. And then there are other pictures where Michelle Obama, she was just giving faces during the speech and throughout the inauguration. Do you think that we just caught her at bad moments, or do you think she acted inappropriately?
I was just going to say, I think it's fair to say it was a little bit awkward, the interaction between them. But, you know, she's at the very tail end of an 8-year ordeal. You know, I definitely have some bad days. I wouldn't want people zooming in on me. But, you know, I think that people with more insight than I have should probably comment on that. But it did look awkward from the outside, certainly.
It did. And they were little snapshots. I mean, you can think anything about small snapshots, but the rest of the time, maybe she had a great time.
Yeah.
Plus, I think she's just relieved.
Yes.
Yes, she's just relieved. She's on vacation now. All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show and giving your insight. And for more information on Dr. Lauren A. Wright, just log on to laurenawright.com. Again, that's laurenawright.com. Coming up, an author who found inspiration to build a successful business from the San Diego Zoo.